Hi, this is Mike Sen. I'm going to do a comparison of different silencers on the Beretta 92FS series. There's been some questions as to whether or not a Beretta needs a silencer equipped with a Nielsen device or a piston or a non-piston. Depends on how heavy it is, what kind of ammo it's got, all kinds of differences. Man, this is my Frankenstein gun. Got a threaded Beretta barrel with optics on it. Don't see many of those. It's fun for zombie shooting. That's about it. And we've got one of the Beretta A3s. I'm real happy with this one. It doesn't absorb as much heat when it sits out in the sun. It's one of those guns I like to take boating, paddleboarding and such. Alright, this is the silencer that I normally use on my Beretta. It's a direct thread. It does not have a piston on it or a Nielsen device. This also operates on my Beretta CX4 Storm and all three Berettas very well. No piston, no Nielsen device. Another no piston, no Nielsen device. This one's a coastal silencer, and it's got, as you can see, I can have different interfaces for it. I've got the 1/2x28 threading on it right now. I'm going to hook this big heavy boat weight. Actually, it's not that heavy, but it's a big silencer. And I'm going to see how well it works on the Berettas with the different types of ammo. I'm also going to check out one of my favorite silencers to use on my Glocks. It's by AAC. It's an Illusion 9mm. And the reason why I like this is it's offset and it doesn't block your sights. You can change the, once you thread it on, you can just pull the silencer away from the threading and it'll adjust so that the silencer itself is out of the way of your sights, and you don't have to fool around with getting different sights. I'm going to see how this one works on a Beretta. This does have a piston on it, and we'll see how well this cycles it. I also have different types of ammo. I've got some, yeah, I like to shoot the Wolf ammo, that Wolf Steel 115 grain. Who doesn't like that? Because it's cheap, it's plentiful, you can go through it a lot. More reliably, in many different pistols that I have, especially in this case, this one, I've got a high-end barrel. It's got much tighter tolerances than the regular Beretta barrel, and it does not like steel ammo. It won't take this garbage, but it loves the Cellier below, and that brass ammo is fantastic. It likes the Winchester. That'll work good. So I've got some 115 grain Cellier below. I've got 115 grain steel, got 115 grain 9mm Winchester ammo, and I haven't even tried this stuff out yet, and this is one of the things that just showed up recently. I bought in bulk, so I'm going to try some of that out. That's 124 grain, so we got some 124 grain brass ammo. I've got three different types of subsonic ammo. Cellier below, subsonic, 140 grain. American Eagle, it's a little bit higher grain. I've got 124 grain subsonic ammo. Don't see a lot of 124 grain out. And then I've got some of the 147 grain silver tip hollow point. We're going to see how all these work in each of the guns with the different silencers. See what ones reliably cycle the actions and what ones don't. I mentioned before that one of my silencers, the Gemtech Trinity, is really light. Well, I'm going to get a little more technical instead of saying really light or a little bit heavier, because when I was putting these in a little bag to bring to the range, I realized there is a notable difference in their weight. So let's get a little more technical. I've got 6.3 ounces. Gemtech Trinity, 6.3 ounces. This is the Advanced Armament Illusion 9. This is the one with a Nielsen device. 9.8 ounces. And just for giggles and grins, and this has got the Bowers Griptastic on it, so adding the weight of the silicone, high-temp silicone sleeve on there, which is rather difficult to take off, but I leave it on there because I usually use this on my machine guns. Let's see what this weighs in at. Just under 2 pounds. Right at 2 pounds, we'll call it. First, I'm going to run through the Beretta A3, my Gemtech silencer with Wolf 115 grain steel ammo, Cellier below brass 115 grain ammo. I've got 124 grain Yavex ammo. I've got some white box Winchester 115 grain ammo, and then the Subsonic that I'll first shoot is a very lightweight 140 grain ammo. We're going to see how all that cycles, and that'll be with the Gemtech Trinity. Wolf 115 grain ammo with the Gemtech. Cellier below 115 grain ammo. Now I've got the Yavex 115 grain ammo. You can tell that's a lot quieter. I can tell at least. Winchester white box. And I'm dropping the mag after the second round, just so I don't have to keep popping a round out. A little bit, I can tell. Fantastic. Now this is the first bit of Subsonic that I'm shooting, and this is the Cellier below Subsonic 9mm 140 grain ammo. Let's see how well that cycles. Nicely. Everything from here on up is a heavier grain, and I don't think it's going to be necessary to try out the 124 grain Subsonic or the 147 grain Subsonic, only because it worked with the much lower grain Subsonics. I'm going to move on to the next silencer with this. It's going to be the Illusion 9 by AAC. That one has the Nielsen device. Advanced Armament Corporation Illusion 9mm. I like this one because it's got the off-center, and it doesn't have to be timed perfectly, because once you thread it on, well, in this case I don't need to make any further adjustments. 115 grain. See how well that cycles. I tend to be lowering my shots a little bit. That cycled just fine. Cellier below 115 grain. That cycled just fine. Let's see what the difference is with this one. That is pretty darn quiet. 124 grain Yavex. I'm going to skip over the white box Winchester, and I'm going to go right to the Cellier below 140 grain. See how well that cycles. Beautifully. And again, there's no problems with that cycling. I don't see any need to move on to the next heavier subsonic round. Okay, back to using the Beretta 92FS with the Gemtech Trinity silencer on a Fire Dragon barrel, threaded barrel. Once again, I have to kind of look through the sights. Pretty much using the night sights. That cycled fine, no Nielsen device. I'm going to move up to the Yavex 124 grain. That also cycles very nicely. Try out the Subsonic .140 grain by Cellier below. That cycles just fine. 140 grain Cellier below Subsonics work fine cycling with the non-Nielsen device or non-piston, very lightweight. Gemtech Trinity silencer. Now we're going to try the advanced Armament Illusion 9mm. Okay, for whatever reason, maybe it just needs a good cleaning. I'm unable to time this correctly the way I would pull it out. It's set up for my Glock. It's okay. It's actually still low enough I can see over my sights. We're going to go straight to the Subsonics. .140 grain Cellier below Subsonics, and see how well that works out. Definitely firing to the left. I can see where I'm going off, just to the left of the target I was aiming at. However, cycled all right. Okay, this is the Yavex 124 grain ammo. Let's see how that does with the Illusion 9. I have some of the white box wind chips with the Gemtech. I shoot right about in the middle. So that's cycling pretty well. Last thing we're going to try is the Cellier below 140 subsonic ammo. See how well that does, what kind of a group we've got. Also, so with or without the Nielsen device, the Beretta 92 family cycles just fine. Okay, for the grand finale, I'm going to use my Coastal silencer that I use on my Mac 10, the 2-pounder. I've got 2 of the 124 grain Yavex, I think it's Yavex rounds, followed by 2 Cellier below 140 grain rounds. We're going to see how they work out. I can only shoot it out of one of my Berettas because this particular one has the Fire Dragon barrel, threaded barrel, and it's a longer barrel than the OEM barrel that Beretta gives you and the M9A3. You can see right here, this will hit the silencer right here, a little guide rod. On the other ones, let's see if I can get to back up, see where that hits right there. That just clears it on this one. So this one will mechanically, it can cycle. Now let's see if it'll do it with the ammo. The other 2 I was not able to physically cycle the pistol only because there was not enough clearance. Alright, so that's pointed down, and I have a failure to cycle. Failure to cycle. Let's go subsonic. Wow. It's almost as if the subsonic felt like it cycled it a little better. I am not ready to give up on shooting my Beretta 92FS out of this big can just yet. Now, I know I did this a while back, and here's why I think it worked. Before I had the 1/2x28 threading on here. The last time I shot this, I know I did not have the 1/2x28 threading, and what I was doing was using an adapter. And I think this adapter right here is what gave me the clearance. And that might allow me to be able to shoot any of these. But right now, that adapter now threaded onto one of the Berettas, pretty much any of them I bet now, will allow this to work. Okay, I've got the adapter on here. That gives a little more clearance. A lot more clearance. So that's not going to be the problem. It just eliminated what I believe to be the problem with this thing functioning with this gigantic silencer on it. It looks kind of cool. Alright, let's go check it out now. I'm going to use the 124 grain full metal jacket Yavex, and the last round will be a subsonic Salye below. Didn't cycle.